Yes, Sirski, we back. It's Freewenow.
Till it is backwards.
Yes, Sirski. Hey, look, special guest today.
Special
guest. This will be a great podcast. Listen, we were talking earlier, and at this point, she just does everything under the sun.
Everything.
Right? From being an artist to, helping out the community to being just a liaison for us and what we're trying to do. Works at, I don't even want to put all our business out there because I don't know what I can and cannot say. You know what I'm saying? But, we have Veronica Renee, aka Miss V Money, V Rock. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to be here with y'all.
Hey, I'm excited that you're here.
Yeah, we appreciate that. You know what I mean? And take one to know one. That's why we brought you up here. So, listen, today, first off, Keith, what you got for the people, man?
Hey, so some people run the world, others run around it. I'm gonna say that one more time.
Wait a minute, we in a school zone.
Whoa.
Drive slow. We in a school zone.
You can't just come in. Shots fired. Like, you got to walk away from this or what?
Hey, you said that like that was a party trick.
No. So
Yeah.
some people run the world, others run around it. If you're unwilling to deal with the conflicts or the everyday grind, you will be invisible and sometimes even blind.
Okay, poet over here.
Facts. Need some snaps. So today, what can y'all expect, right? We're gonna be talking about entrepreneurship. A lot of times also all right, let's cats out the bag, all right? Me and Keith are pretty close. All right. Pause. But once you have a lot of times male energy is always the male perspective. Right? So today we're gonna give you our normal takes, but we have V Rock, Miss V, Veronica Renee, V baby here, right? And she will give you a different outlook and a different perspective, or maybe she won't, right? But just having that, you know what I'm saying, in the mix, I think will be great for conversation, right? And y'all give us some feedback if we should start, having a mix of energy and not just always us, you know what I'm saying? So we'll talk about entrepreneurship. We're gonna be talking about my feelings. My feelings. I was in my feelings earlier this week.
He like getting his feelings off.
I was in my feelings.
Dang,
yeah, he was on the soapbox.
I was, bruh. And I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't normally be like that.
We all have
but
feelings.
like earlier this week, I was hot. And it's interesting sometimes when you're mad at yourself.
Yeah.
The hardest things to kind of get over is that when you don't have anybody to blame.
I feel that.
You feel me? Like when you don't have someone that you can point the finger to.
It's you, because 3 pointing back at you.
You know what I'm saying? For real. So in this situation, I was kind of mad at myself. And, she gave us the opportunity to speak to some college students earlier. And I was speaking to them and I was like, stress comes from not making a decision. Ooh. I'm the most stressed out when I just don't make decisions. And so I will stress to the point like the other day, I'm in my feelings, right? So I'm like, I don't want to work out. So I roll around in bed and I delay working out 2 hours. When the delay, I could have already been done with the workout in the midst of the delay. You feel me? So I'm like, I delayed something that could have been over with and done with. You feel me? So a lot of stress comes from not making decisions. So that's the intro, right? That's not even a lesson. That was just the intro, right? So we're gonna be talking about entrepreneurship, how I was in my feelings, and then, what else y'all wanna talk about, right? So we'll kick it off. And I will say the first thing, since I mentioned my feelings, right? And since I'm talking about my feelings, I'm gonna be selfish and talk about my feelings, right? So I was upset that I didn't technically have a solution for making money.
Okay.
So a lot of times I quoted, I was like, I'm not reading any more books. I'm not taking any more courses. I'm not buying any more classes. I'm taking action. Because every book, you name it, in the self-improvement section, I've either bought it, listened to an audiobook, you know what I'm saying, probably picked it up, started reading it, stopped. But it doesn't teach you how to get money. It gives you all of these good feelings of you got to think deep and you have to, go to a different place in your mind and, as a man thinketh and all of this other stuff. But on the page, it doesn't say, Hasan, go to this website, put in this, go to this tax site, you do this, blah, 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 hit up this person and you should have at least $100. But they're not telling you that. So I was ticked off and be like, yo, like, I feel like I've spent so much of my life feeling like I had to be prepared. I need to prepare. I need to read this book so I know. When in reality, people that make money, they just act.
Facts.
They just execute. So I was ticked off and I'm calling Keith and Keith was chilling. He was in, I don't know if he was a good mood or bad mood, but I was so ramped up to the point that he started yelling back at me on the phone. Like, not in the sense of he disagreed with me, but he got amped up and he's like, yeah, like I got him ramped up. He was like, you're right. You know what? I got all these books. I got this library. They ain't telling me nothing. And I was like, bro, that's so true though.
Yeah.
Like these books, these bestsellers, these New York novels, bestseller book, they're not telling me how to make money. And so I was frustrated, especially being a man who is very keen on what we're supposed to do in providing and protecting. And I don't know how to make money outside of getting a 9-to-5 job, because they talk about investing, but they don't understand you need money to invest. Like, you can dollar cost average and put $20 here and $30. Bro, that's not changing your family's trajectory. How do I get money so I can, short-term money, so I can even invest long-term? It's like, oh, you need to do this and do that and do that. And we watch Earn Your Leisure a lot. Shout out to the good fellas at Earn Your Leisure.
They be talking.
They be talking.
They do.
They be talking. But they got a lot of gems, and I appreciate them and I support them. But me, I had to check my temperature. Because I was looking at all the things they are trying to teach us about investing in, and I want to do it. But I don't have money to do what they're saying. So hearing over and over what I should be doing, and I'm not in a position to do it, I had to check my temperature, because it was almost like, why would I even listen? Why y'all even telling me about this? Why are you speaking about these big investments? They were talking about investing in Ghana and Africa. And I've been screaming about that 3 years ago before I even saw this, right? Clip of them talking about it. But I'm like, it made me so upset, the fact that I couldn't participate. Like, why go to the party if you can't get in? You feel me? So it made me check myself and my temperature and be like, you can't be mad at them, bro, because you're not in the position that you want to be.
Right.
You feel me? Like, I can't take my emotions and my feelings out on someone else, because I'm not in a position that I want to be, right? This is the last thing, right? It's the last thing I'm going to say. Keith and I shared a boss. And this boss would come to work every day, cheesing, smiling, telling goofy and corny jokes, right? Like, telling us how we needed to be like Warren Buffett and eat the same McDonald's biscuit every morning. And yes. And he talk about how Warren Buffett has this, routine, and how you got to be a creature of habit and how you need to whatever, right? But we all hated our jobs. So the mere thought of seeing his smiling, goofy face ticked us off. And it was like, that was the first time I ever realized, like, why am I allowing somebody's happiness to make me so mad? Right. Like, you ever been mad to see somebody happy? You know what I'm saying? Like, have you ever been like, I am pissed off that you're happy right now, because why are you smiling? Nothing's funny, right? But in reality, I just was not in a position in the job, in my investing journey or whatever I want to do in life, to where your happiness made me upset. And I feel like a lot of times people get in those situations and they don't know how to turn the blame on themselves, when it's like, in reality, bro, it's on you. Sis, it's on you. So that's how I was feeling, right, earlier this week, about just life in general, and how really the help that people give or tell you to start, like, they're not really giving you real game.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel like you said so many things there. I would come back to first language. One of the things I had to learn, my adulthood, was how to talk to myself. how to proactively talk to myself and productively and gently talk to myself, because I grew up in Chicago, so
Chi-town.
it's just, we're different. We're very different in the sense of the hustler mentality, like go getting and doing and executing and moving and getting stuff done. So I always had that in me since, I was 8, little. So we moving and grooving. We always doing something. Shout out to my family. Shout out to my uncles, my aunts, my grandma, my both sets of grandparents. I grew up just around so much love and support from my family that it really didn't seem like we were struggling, so to speak, but I was always cognitive and consciously aware of like, oh dang, I think there's more. Like, I think there's more out there. And I just had this affinity and this calling, but didn't know what the names, the terms, what it was and what I was feeling. But I just knew, I'm like, nah, this is cool and all, but there's more.
There's more.
And I know that there's more. And so I would get very vivid dreams and very vivid, even daydreams. In the middle of the day, I'm just seeing stuff like, oh, dang. Anybody else seeing that? it's me? Okay, it's me. Dang. Even so much so to where when I was in 12th, I was 12 years old in 8th grade. And I wrote this whole poetry book, illustrated it and everything. Everything, I kid you not, every single thing I wrote down in that book has either already transpired or still on its way. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, dang, I'm 12. Knowing that stuff.
Did you know that you were different at that age when you were writing it?
Yes.
Yeah.
1000%.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Earlier, when you came out to the event, I shared a video about the 15 characteristics or signals or signs of entrepreneurs. And in that, I felt this affinity towards it. Even though I worked for companies and organizations before, I've always had a growth mindset or a growth entrepreneurial mindset. Yeah. And I really have to thank my dad for this one because, and I think it's just so important to assess how you speak to yourself and what you bring to fruition. And so my dad, he actually had gotten me this book called Who Moved My Cheese. Now it is one of those entrepreneurial type books where they tell you to read the book and all those things. It's like, it teaches, I guess a lot of business classes use that book to help people understand how to seek out change. Right. And so me being in elementary school reading that book for kids, I'm just looking at the pictures and the little mouse, little mice that's in there and the little hem and haw, the little chubby humans that end up getting chubby because they got comfortable, So after a while, my dad also helped me set up goals for myself. So I set up goals since I was in 5th grade. So executing on those goals, I was like, dang, I did all that. Right. Oh, shoot. Wait a minute. Okay. So then I really started to unconsciously, because I was already doing it. Right. Unconsciously, I just end up, because I had already wrote it down, or because I had already thought about it, wrote it down, then my action started to lead towards what I wanted or what I desired. So I want to touch on, one of the things you said was like, oh, I want this, or I should be here, and I don't have da-da-da-da. No, change the language. Change the language and say, how can I create what it is I desire to have? Right. And then why do I desire to have that thing or be that person or exemplify this characteristic? And then the last part for me, I also grew up in the church. So I always think about service. How is it being of service? Because to be honest, we can't take none of this stuff when we die. Facts.
Can't take nothing with you.
We cannot take nothing. We are literally gone. Yeah. Nothing is coming with us. Right. And so really think about how you're feeding your spirit, feeding your soul, and then sharing that with other people. Right. How would people remember you? Oh yeah, we made a bunch of money, but what you do with that money? Was you just keeping it in a safe for whatever reason. Like, no, you're making money so that way you can be of service to people, so that way you can like help other people get jobs, or solve the homelessness, or the unhoused population, or help people eat and stuff like that. So making more money, like, I really want to challenge people to think, why is it that you want to make more money? What are you doing with it? Who are you serving, and what goal do you have?
Absolutely.
Like, and not so much where you have to be super analytical with it, but like, what is the real reason? And I love Simon Sinek when he talked about your why. Like, why are you doing what you're doing? Why do you get out of bed every morning?
Right.
What's driving you to get up and do what you do? And that honestly is what's keeping me, because I had one too. Shoot, Wednesday was a day. It's just like, what? The world, everything.
Right.
Like,
the sky is falling.
they don't even know that none of this is really real. It's all arbitrary. I was in the mirror mad, so I feel you, because I'm like, I'm letting these outside entities make me upset, but really it's like, no, I have the power to center myself.
Right.
I have the power to literally say, you know what, I'm not going to give that my energy.
Right.
I don't need to give that thing or that concept or that idea my energy. How do I show up doing my best? Shout out to my grandfather, because he would always say, baby, as long as you did your best, that's all that matters. And I'd be like, you right.
You right.
I did do my best today. Am I tired? Absolutely, because I gave my energy away. But you know, I did good today. So
For sure.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You know? And then even when you point, I feel like sometimes it's easier to point a finger at somebody else.
Always.
It's that much harder to go inward and say, what is it that I truly desire? Because here's another thing. Well, I said semantics earlier too. Semantics is very important, because the way you speak on something and how you speak on it is like, okay, I could say I want something forever.
Right.
But that just means it's going to fleet away from me further and further, because in my eyes, I think wanting is lacking. And so when you're lacking it, and it's like, damn, I ain't gonna never get that, or this isn't gonna come to me as fast, and this and this and that. Release the timeline. Release the timeline. And I had to really get, solid with that, because life just shifted for me within a year. I had wrote stuff down for years prior, but it was like everything just rolled in back to back to back to back to back. And literally, y'all, I kid you not, in less than a month, all the stuff that I have been working on for a year and plus 2 to 3 years prior to that, I can tell you since like 2019, all the stuff that I was in the same space, like, man, why everybody getting this amount of money, yada yada, and I ain't getting, and this ain't coming to me, and I've been busting my butt, and I've been serving people, and I've been doing this, and I've been doing that, but nothing is coming. And so I was like, you know what, nah, I need to assess who I'm around, how much time I'm spending with those people, how much energy am I giving away to them that I could also be giving and putting into me. Also looking in the mirror and be like, dang, Veronica, you just wasted 3 hours scrolling through, you wasted 3 hours when you could have been in the gym. Right. So I ended up getting around gym people, getting in a gym, like signed up with one of my good friends here in San Diego, like got back in health, like good health, got back around some really dope people, and I feel like God strategically put those people in my life
for sure
to be able to remind me, like, no, this was part of your goal, so I'm putting this person in front of you so you can actually walk in the direction of the goal in which you said you wanted or that you desired to have. So all right, bet, here's this trainer. All right, cool, you want a new place, here's this person who's in real estate. Oh, cool, you wanted a new car, here's this, here's that, got a new place. Literally was like, dang. I remember, like, before I had moved into my place I'm in now, I was really just like, I need to leave. Like, I need to, like, get out of this place, man. Why everybody else getting X, Y, Z? And I'm just stuck in this little damn.
Right.
Like I was getting mad.
Yeah.
Big mad at everybody else but myself. And then I got mad at myself and I was like, all right, cool. Now I have to reassess.
For sure.
And so then when I reassessed, I took a look and I really looked in the mirror. It's really mirror work too.
Mirror work, shadow
Mirror work.
boxing.
Yeah.
You're right.
Straight shadow boxing. Like, all right. I don't know if anyone, spoiler alert, if you've seen the Joker, that man was shadow boxing in Joker 2.
I can't stay. I hated that movie so
I didn't see
bad.
it.
I hated
I
that
didn't see it.
movie.
He hated it though.
I like that scene. That scene was actually fire, though. I ain't gonna hold you. That scene was fire. Because he was literally just fighting with himself. And that was the concept. And I really appreciated that. If people take a deeper look, minus all the musicality of the song, like, don't think about the song. Really,
It'll kill you.
Like,
He was like, "Is this a musical?"
look, anytime you see Lady Gaga, no, it's a musical.
It's a musical.
You know, it's a musical. But I'm a music head, so I like music, so it's cool.
Nah, that's huge. I think y'all said a lot of great things, right? And two of the biggest things I took out of both of y'all's segments was accountability and creativity, right?
Yes.
So as Hasan said, he did call me earlier this week, and I was chilling. I was on the couch like a potato, yo. I was not finna move. I wasn't finna do anything. He called me and I seen it ring, bro. And I was like, all right, I know we gotta talk about business. I know we gotta talk about something. He got on the phone. He was like, bro, I'm mad, bro. He started going off, right? So his energy got me up off the couch to where I'm leaning up and like I'm legit yelling like, yeah, bro, these books, they ain't teaching me nothing. They ain't doing this, right? And I admitted, I was like, bro, I done bought like 20 books and I ain't even cracked none of them open. They just sitting on my shelf for decoration. Like people come in my crib and be like, yo, you read books? And I'll be like, yeah. No, I haven't read none of those books. They haven't helped me. They haven't helped me.
No.
I'm just being real. Like I haven't cracked any of those books open, right? But accountability is huge, right? Setting yourself up to attain the things that you want. And it's not on anybody else's plate. People can put you in the perfect position, but if you don't do anything with it, you will never attain these things. A lot of people say, like Hasan always says, God had to teach me this lesson. God had to put me through it. No, God gave you plenty of opportunities to make a different decision. You were just so blinded off of what you wanted to do or what you was thought right, that the only way he could get through it to you is to put you through something, right? So these are things that we have to account for. Accountability. Look ourselves in the mirror. Shadow box. Hey, what do I need to improve on? We even talked about it earlier, how you speak to yourself, right? Accountability is a big piece on how you speak to yourself. Are you saying, oh no, I deserve to take this break? Or are you saying this is just an excuse for me not to go after what I really want? Accountability in every facet of life. How you eat, how you look, who you're around, how you talk to people, how you get up in the morning, your routine. Accountability, right? But one of the biggest things I want to touch on, right, is what she said. At 12 years old, she made a poetry book, and I'm talking about, it seemed like she was really in there.
I was.
I want to see it.
Hey,
Creativity.
I'm gonna say some stuff.
Creativity. The first thing that God tells us about himself in the Bible is he's creative. That is the first thing, right?
Genesis.
And we talk about all these books that we've bought to read, and we've neglected, I've neglected to read the most important book.
The original one.
Right, the original self-help book. The book that gets you through everything. It tells you how to be in the kingdom. It tells you how to be godlike. It tells you how to be a servant. It tells you how to be a shining light. It tells you how to get over circumstance, hardships. It tells you how to do it, everything. But I'm looking for the answers in all the wrong books.
Yeah.
Right. And in the first sentence, God said, be creative. How the greatest thing about every entrepreneur, the greatest thing about every invention is creative. It takes away your reliance on something and makes it easier.
Right.
We rode horses. Now we got cars. That's creative. We used to drive these cars across the country. Now we got planes. That's creative. Oh, we want to do this on the water. Now we got yachts. Now we got boats. That's creative. Everything that is taking all of our money, our attention, our time is creative. So how do I get creative to make myself money? How do I look outside of the norm? How do I take my strengths that God's already put in me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Conversation for another time. Everything you need in this life was put in you from the day that you were born, and you don't need anything else. You just need to cultivate the environment that it's in. How do I take this creativity and make it make money?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? How do I stop getting so frustrated on the fact that I don't like reading? I don't like reading, but that's not the only way that you can make money. I was listening to Earn Your Leisure. Shout out Earn Your Leisure, because they said some stuff that I took outside of just them talking about finances. One of the things they talk about, and they were like, You know, everybody always tells you to read books.
Yeah.
Everybody says, go read this book, go buy this book that I created. But majority of the time, they're just selling you one of their products. They're putting more money in their pocket, right?
Facts.
And then you read 10 and 15 chapters, and you're just as broke as you were at chapter 1 as you are in chapter 10, right?
$40 broker because you bought the book.
Yeah, so now I'm angry in the book because it's not telling me how to make this money, right? And I'm like, I don't even like reading books in the first place. So how do I get creative to obtain the same information? How do I make this work for me? Because as much as we say read a book, everybody always says in the same sentence, you're not going to find the answers in this book. You're not going to find any of the answers in life in this book. But read this book to find the answer to make money, and then you get to the book, hey, you don't have to read this book to make money.
Okay, let me tell you what it is, though, because I work in education, and what I think it really is, there is a disconnect of understanding critical thinking and action planning. Because it's easy to say, oh, yeah, go read a book. But if you don't know who you are as a person first, and you don't know what it is you're searching for, nothing in that book is going to come to fruition for you. Nothing in that book is going to resonate with you because there's some duality, there's some dissonance, there's some exploration that's taking place. And a book that I read when I was in my leadership certificate program in my undergrad was talking about Johari's window. And I use this in my facilitations, my workshops and stuff for work, but I like this concept of Johari's window because it helps you understand aspects of yourself that is in the open quadrant, which basically says, okay, you guys know, I mean, now you know, but before, if you didn't know, I'm from Chicago, but if you didn't know me, you wasn't going to know that information. So that would have been in the hidden self. So everybody would have assumed, okay, yeah, she living in San Diego. Maybe she lives, she's from San Diego. But no, when I revealed that I'm from Chicago, then that's my hidden self, right? Mm-hmm. So then it became an open self. It became something that is out in the open. So stuff that I freely share or that you can physically see, things of that nature. But there's two other quadrants that is the unknown self. I love that one. And that quadrant is really just where potential lies because you don't know you have this skill. You don't know you have this strength, or you don't know you have this asset about you. But that just comes with just doing and going and living life. Like, that's why we're here. We're supposed to just go through life experiences to remember our greatness and to remember our full essence and who we really are, which is godlike. Like, it literally says in the Bible, we are created in the image. So can't nobody tell me that I don't have that within me. Even if, whatever you want to say, whatever portions of it that you believe or don't believe, is mainly just saying that we have these abilities to do so. I used to take stuff, so it's so funny because I'm a nerd, y'all. I love nerdy things. But I be watching these movies like Twilight and like the vampire stuff and all those things. But I also be thinking, because I was also a biology student, going to medical school and everything, and I just think about how our body heals itself. You get a cut, you slice something open, is that cut going to stay bleeding for eternity? No. It's literally regenerating itself on a day-to-day basis. We are the most sophisticated thing on this planet right now. So, like, why are we cultivating and tapping into that potentiality on a day-to-day, like on a cellular level? I'm speaking some biology stuff right now.
She's about to get in her bag.
But on some
couple
cellular
hydrogens
level.
there, couple carbons there.
Okay, so I say all of that to say that we have this, going back to your point of creativity, right? This place was created. We're literally, and I said this to my dad one time, we are created by the creator to be creative.
Yes.
Like, that is our role down here. It even tells us in the Bible to create, procreate, make more, and multiply. Like, make more, do more, do more. And I knew that since I was young. I was like, man, nah, this cool and all, but there's more. There's more. There's more that we can create. And so the minute we start thinking that, oh, well, we're limited and we can't do this, can't do that, it's like, no, you're literally putting that limit on yourself. You're literally saying, oh, all right, cool. Well, that's where you want to stay at, then bet. It's not going to happen because that's where you want to be at. Yeah. And that's where you're comfortable at. But I think another aspect I was going to touch on when you said accountability, I love that. And then also taking the responsibility and the initiation to initiate the first step. You got to go and do something that's uncomfortable and get comfortable being uncomfortable. Like, like for me, especially moving from Chicago, for a while, I mean, I still don't really have my close family out here. So I had to know how to operate without the family support system. I had to like figure out what that looks like and figure out what that meant for myself. I mean, energetically, I feel my family support. Yeah. You know, they call or I call and stuff like that. So like energetically, I know that they're rooting for me, but I didn't have that close proximity. So, you know, when people be like, yeah, well, you know, you got this, you got that. And I was like, nah, I got that from the mud. Like, legit from the mud. I literally had to build and create and go and do and make it happen. But also, I want to touch on a point too. Like, sometimes, like you said, you're going through a hardship or a hard, tough moment because you didn't listen to the easy moment that was presented to you in the first place. Right. You had to be low key, for lack of a better term, slapped over the head to just be like, all right, bam, like shut down and roadblock and, you know, speed bump or something to slow you down. And I've had that. I literally have had that literally on my birthday. On my birthday. I was like, and then God had just like jokes that whole day. That was crazy for me.
Hey, God funny. He gonna play with you.
Yeah. God has so many jokes. And y'all, shout out my birthday. It's still Scorpio season. The last day. Shout out all my Scorpios. Hey, y'all.
We know their birthday lasts all year.
It's all season long.
For real.
We lit over here.
For real.
But yeah, on the 3rd, like I had a whole event plan. I did a little wine tasting. It was a road shutdown, and I saw it coming. I knew it was coming because I was rushing. I ain't gonna lie, I was rushing. I was rushing trying to be early, which was on time to me. So I was like, dang, I gotta get there at 9:45, even though our thing was at 10 a.m.
Yeah, I hope you heard that one, Haas. I hope you heard that one, Haas.
Early is on time.
I hope you heard that, Haas.
I was trying to rush and get there. I was like, dang, it said I'm gonna be there at 9:46, and I'm like, I gotta get there. And then the road was closed down. I'm over here just like, dang, I couldn't even make an emergency phone call. I couldn't make no phone call. But the song that was playing was Let Him In on my freaking Spotify. And I was like, that's, all right, Lord, you over here, you got jokes. All right, cool. You speaking to me how I speak to you in a way. Like I sing and I love worship and I love like songs and stuff and I love music, but just the lyrics, him coming in and saying, let him in, will you answer the call and all this and this and that. I'm like, I can't even make no call. Like, what are you talking about? Let him in, answer the call. How am I going to answer the call? I can't make a call. So then afterwards, after the road got shut down, I couldn't call my friends. I had to ask a dude in a car next to me in the roadblock to make a call to my friend to let her know that I'm gonna be late because I couldn't even use my phone. And then by the time all of that was done, the song that played after that it said Birthday Prayer. And I said, wow, okay, Lord, you got mad jokes. And then it started raining. It was sprinkling. I was like, okay, you're slowing me down so that I can hear you and make sure that my actions is not led by me, but by divinely through you.
I like that you said that, right? Because it's actually funny. So I woke up maybe like 2 days ago and I looked on my phone. Normally the first thing I check, right? And it was like a daily devotional on my phone. Like it was a whole little readout in a scripture. And I was like, where'd this come from? Like I didn't subscribe to this. This is not normally on my phone.
I'm hacked. My phone is hacked.
I'm not normally on my phone, right?
Somebody hacked my phone.
So I read it and I'm like, okay. That's crazy. Right? And it's funny because it's on my Instagram, right? So it's on my Instagram, right? And I look in my messages and they have this things like Meta AI and stuff. It's like you can talk to it, have it do different things. So I guess, I don't know how it happened. Maybe it was me doing it subconsciously or whatever. It's like I subscribed for this daily devotional thing in my phone. So now they pop up every single morning on my phone.
There you go.
And it wasn't something that I did. I know I didn't do this. I know for 100% fact I did not do this.
1,000%. Right? That was not me.
But it's like, I think it's important because sometimes God talks to you in different ways. Like you said, it's the music you slowing down. Now I'm getting these daily devotionals on my thing that are making me like reiterate, because one of the things I need to do is read my Bible more. It's kind of like, all right, you said you're going to do it. Now here, boom, do this. Mm-hmm. This kind of gives you that lead. So he talks to you in different ways to help you take that accountability or spark that creativity. Yeah. So I definitely agree with that.
It'll show up in people too. I mean, randomly, even with, me getting back into music and just using my voice. I have a whole history of just, with singing and becoming an artist. I was like, my first passion, my deep rooted passion, and it's boiling. Like the older I get, the more I'm just like, dang, it's there. We just got to take the action. Like you said, got to take the action. And I remember walking into Party City. I was getting some stuff for this event that I had to do for work. And there was this little boy. Man, y'all, I kid you not. It's crazy. This is crazy. I don't want to go into too much detail on this one, but he was Jewish. Mm-hmm. And he had the little
yarmulke.
Yeah, yarmulke. There we go. So he's a Jewish little boy. I mean, he had to be like 5, mm-hmm. like super little. He's got a little putty in his hand, a little slime. And the song that was playing in that, how
Party City.
like the stores playing music, was Tamia, So Into You. Mm. Y'all, I just covered that song. I had just got a vocal coach, or went back to getting a vocal coach or whatever, and I had just been working with her for maybe like 3 months, mm-hmm. and she was begging me to do a recital, and I was like, nah, I'm not ready yet. Like, I haven't really like got back out here with my voice just yet, so I don't know, and mm-hmm. and it's COVID, and I don't think people are gonna show up because people still scared and like whatever. She's like, no, like I need you to do it, and I was like, oh, whatever. And I just covered that song, and the little boy, I'm in line, standing behind him and his mom and his sister. I'm standing in line. He turns around. He's like, "That's you." I was like, "What? What?
No.
What are you talking about?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "That's you. I know it. You're singing." And I was like, who is this little boy? I was literally about to tear up, and he has this little putty in his hand. He's like, "Here, you can play. It's okay." And I'm like,
oh, wow.
Can't make this up,
Who is this little baby? Like, what are you telling me right now? And I'm just like, he's like, "That's crazy. You're singing." And I'm like, hi, okay, yeah, I'm singing. I am.
That's deep.
It was so deep. Like, literally, God just showed up and through that little boy. And I'm like, that's crazy. And what are the parallels?
Right.
Because, people say Jewish people heavily in the music industry, and they are. But it's just, it was so beautiful to see him not even know me and then just feel so comfortable with me, sharing with me. And then before they left, he came back and gave me a hug. I was like, not this little boy.
Yeah.
Don't even know me.
Right.
No stranger danger, nothing. He was like, hey.
Gotta be careful for
that.
I
know that's you. Right, seriously. But he's like, I know that's you. Like, literally with so much certainty. And the fact that he was like, I know that's you singing. You're singing. And I'm like, how do you know this? And I just covered her song about a week before that.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
And we say that we don't believe in coincidences.
Exactly.
No coincidence. Everything happens for a reason.
Purpose.
Everything.
Right.
Everything.
Like the root word of coincidence is coincide, meaning coming together.
Coming together, yeah.
Right. So it's not funny, haha, funny, weird, right? That the definition of coincidence is random when the root word is coming together. Yeah. But what do I know?
But what do I know?
You know what I'm saying? What do I know? I'm just here, you know what I mean? Get my thoughts off in my feelings. Right? So, this was extremely deep. We always have great conversations. That's why we knew this would be a smooth transition, you know.
They're lucky we didn't get started on space.
Right.
Bro.
Lucky we didn't get started on space.
Shout out to Interstellar.
Yeah, listen, you know what I'm saying? That would, yeah. So anyway, look, that was a great conversation and a great snippet of just where we're moving, and it lets you know that you're on the right path when you look around a room and the people you're around are on the same wavelength, literally. You know what I mean? So that's a testament to the self-work we're all doing on an individual basis. and how we're really tapped into, in my opinion, the spiritual realm. And like you mentioned, made in God's image, we're tapping into our godlike quality.
Absolutely.
Right. And so to sum up my In My Feelings speech, right, and all of the great nuggets, you know what I mean, you guys have touched on and gave me a sermon, it feels like, right? It's okay to have those moments, right? But you have to get out of them, right? Like staying in them won't bring you fruit, right? Like, and the way to get out of it is tapping into the spiritual realm, tapping in with God, and holding yourself accountable, right? And I understand that, and I hope you guys understand that. And in 2025, let's make something happen, right? Like, I am no longer huddling around all of my friends and family, toasting on New Year's, saying this is my year. I'm not doing that anymore, right? Like, we're just executing, and we're making it happen, right? Like, I'm not gonna be like getting emotional over some, alcohol, spirits, right? You know what I'm saying?
Spirits, alcohol.
Literally, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You feel me? So I'm not going to let those spirits get in me to make me feel like I now have the courage to go after what God already has given me the courage to go after. So with that being said, any last minute things, Veronica Renee, V Money, V Baby, you know what I'm saying? V Rock. Anything to sum it up, last minute advice?
Last minute advice. Dang. Let me see.
You said a lot, so if you don't have any, I understand. Because rewind it. That's the advice. Rewind the tape.
I would say really know yourself. Like, really know yourself, and don't let anybody take you out of your element. I mean, I always say this is like, that's my biggest thing. If the minute somebody takes you out of your element and they get that much power over you, you've lost you. So, really hone into you and sit quiet enough with yourself and dive deeper into those feelings and emotions, because we are human nonetheless. And so definitely dive into those emotions, dive into all the aspects of yourself, because chances are it's revealing something about you that, might need elevation or might need a different level of attention to. And I'm really big on mental health too. So we need those moments. We need those moments where it's like, dang, okay, I'm feeling sad. Why am I feeling sad? Or what is the root of this? And how do I help myself get out of it and, not stay in it? What tools can I tap into? What network can I tap into? People that I can connect, pick up the phone and be like, hey, you know what? I'm having a moment, or like, dang, I'm thinking about this and this and this, and have a person that can help guide you through that or just motivate you through it. So get yourself around some good, solid people. Train the way your brain thinks. If you have a negative thought, observe it, be objective from it, be removed from it, and be like, yo, if you need to rebuke it, send it to the pits. You don't need it. If you don't need it, if it's not true, move on.
That's real.
Yeah.
What you got?
Hey, man, venting's important, especially to your friends. Venting is very important. Talk to your boys, talk to your girls. Do that, right? But more importantly, it's okay to feel like you're behind the curve. So it's okay to feel like you got to do more. So one of the more important things I like to say, I feel like if you're in a constant state of feeling like you need to do more, then you're in the right place. If you're in a constant state of feeling like you've done enough, then you're making excuses for why you can't do more. Ooh. So enjoy with that one.
And it's just like that. You know what I'm saying? It's Freewenow.
Till it is backwards.